Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs, and this is another news video. It's the weekend news roundup. So I'm going to go through news in the League of Ireland from basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So let's get straight into this. Now first off, we start off at Longford Town. They've announced a plethora of new signings for 2021. I'll just go through them. Joe Manley, Dylan Grimes, Dean Zambra, Carl Chambers, Shane Elworthy, Sam Verdon, Mick McDonnell, Aaron McCabe and Aaron McNally have all signed on for the 2021 season. So Longford getting their act together with players they want for next season. It'll be interesting to see who they actually bring in from elsewhere in the coming weeks. Now on to some Sligo Rovers news, and Sligo Rovers have announced that Will Seymour has left the club. Will came in from America at the start of the season and had a good season with Sligo Rovers and captained the side on numerous occasions as well. But he has left the club. Will had this to say on his career in 2020 at Sligo Rovers. He said, "I had a great 2020, finishing top 4 and securing Europe. Hugely enjoyed my time in Sligo. Had hoped to stay, but wishing the best to my teammates, club and fans going forward." It's going to be interesting to see if Will actually stays on in Ireland and gets a contract at another club. But that's one to keep tabs on. Now, Sligo Rovers are delighted to announce that Lewis Banks has signed a new contract with the club. The right back missed a few games at the start of the season but was very consistent after that. He's now at his third season with Sligo Rovers and has been one of the best right backs in the League of Ireland in the last couple of seasons. So that's a great re-signing from Sligo Rovers. Now, staying with Sligo Rovers, and they've also announced the re-signing of Gary Buckley. Gary Buckley can play centre-back and centre midfield and deputised many times at centre-back this season and done a good job there. Predominantly a midfielder, but his versatility is key to Sligo and he re-signs for 2021. Now we're not finished with Sligo Rovers yet, and the Bitter Red have announced that they have signed a new contract with Ryan de Vries for 2021. The New Zealand international was a vital player for Rovers over the 2020 campaign. He played 70 games out of 21 overall, having only signed 3 games into the season and scored against Dundalk and Finn Harps. Ryan had this to say about re-signing for the club. "Football keeps me going, and the 2 lads, his housemates Lewis Bank and Darren Noon, kept me company and made it easier. I think we made it easier for each other." So more good news for the Bitter Red and Sligo Rovers on the re-signing front. Again, it'll be interesting to see what kind of signings they can make in the next couple of weeks. Now, I mentioned last week the goalkeeper Michal Schlingerman had left Galway United, but he's delighted to announce that he has signed for Athlone Town. Athlone had this to say about the signing. "We are delighted to announce the signing of goalkeeper Michal Schlingerman. The Mayo native returns to Liswollen, having played for the town back in 2010-2011. Since then, the experienced 29-year-old shot stopper has played for Sligo Rovers, Monaghan United, Drogheda United, where he played in the FAI Cup final in 2013 and was voted on the Premier Division Team of the Year in 2015. Mayo senior Gaelic football team, and most recently Galway United, where he featured between the sticks in the club playoff defeat to Longford Town." So big signing for Athlone Town. They have a very, very young squad. To get in someone like that with a good mentality and a good winning mentality, I think only bodes well for Athlone. So that's a very interesting signing, and fair play Athlone on that one. Staying in the Midlands, and Athlone Town delighted to confirm that both Scott Delaney and Jack Reynolds have put pen to paper and re-signed for the 2021 season. So along with Schlingerman, Athlone starting to make their moves. Now Bohemians have announced that left-back Paddy Kirk has left the club. Paddy spent 6 years at the Gypsies, and he said he was very grateful to all the management, players and volunteers, especially the amazing fans at the club. "We have made the past few seasons very special, and he's looking forward to a new challenge in 2021. Paddy is a very good left back. He made a number of appearances for Bows last season, although Anto Breslin was the number 1 choice left back. He was one of the best left backs in the Premier Division last season, to be honest. But wherever Paddy goes, he's going to be a big player for whoever picks him up. So interesting to see what happens in his next chapter. Now moving up to the northwest, and we have some Derry City news. First of all, goalkeeper Peter Cherry has left the club. Peter had this to say: "I would like to inform you that my time at Derry City has come to an end. I really enjoyed my time at Derry and have met lots of really lovely people and made some lasting friendships. It's home away from home. I have so many people to thank. I will start with my teammates and the background staff. Thanks for everything you've done for me. there's so many people that you don't see that do so much behind the scenes. The kit men, the cameramen, the photographers, to the office staff, the media matchday stewards. I just want to say thank to you all. To all the supporters and individual supporter groups I've met and my sponsors, you've been absolutely amazing. All of these people I've mentioned have made my time so enjoyable, and 2 years I will never forget. Now, Peter Jerry, obviously very experienced goalkeeper. He's been at Derry for some time now. I don't think he wanted to leave the club, which is interesting. So clearly Derry have something lined up there. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. Now, Peter wasn't the only player to leave Derry City. Gerardo Bruna, the Argentinian, has also left Derry City. He had this to say on his departure. After some hard decisions, my time playing for Derry City has come to an end. Thank you to everyone who support my family, and since we moved to this beautiful city. That's what he actually said. And since we moved to this beautiful city, so obviously lost translation slightly. I'll miss seeing the Argentinian flag flying the packed Brandywell and playing alongside my teammates. So Bruma had a lot of injuries this season, but he's a very, very good player, I think, on the ball and that. I think he's a bit divisive, though, up in Derry City. So it'll be interesting to see what people think about that one. Now, with the possibility of Kyle Lafferty returning to Derry City, it's interesting to note that former Finn Harps captain Kieran Cole has signed a new 2-year deal with the club. The 29-year-old has been a good left back for Derry now for the past 2 seasons, and it'll be interesting to see if that signature means that Lafferty doesn't come, or if he does come in, they're obviously going to have good competition for places at left back. So Cole signs a new 2-year deal. Now on to some Galway United news, and they've been busy obviously in the market and busy re-signing players, but they've announced the signing of Rory Keating. The Westport native returns to Ireland, having previously played with Torquay and Gateshead over in England. So that's an interesting signing. He's a striker as well, so Galway looking to beef up their attack ahead of the season. So interesting stuff happening with the tribe. Now, Galway United are also delighted to announce the re-signing of Christopher Horgan. A product of United's academy, the 21-year-old is heading into his 4th season with Galway United Football Club, and John Caulfield sees him as another player with real promise. So another young player signed up to Galway United. Now we head over to Tolka Park and some news with Shelbourne FC, and Shelbourne FC have completed the signings of Michael O'Connor and Ali Gilchrist. Now Ali Gilchrist had left Derry City, where he had an injury-ravaged season last season, but the Scot has now signed on with Shelbourne in the First Division and looks like a top signing. Michael O'Connor, who previously played for Waterford in the League of Ireland, is only 22 years of age, had left to join Ross County, but departs from Ross County, and he's signed up and reunites with Alan Reynolds at Waterford. I was going to say, he's been at Waterford 3 times, so excuse me for that one. He reunites with Alan Reynolds at Shelbourne, so Shelbourne doing some excellent business too. Now, a little bit of Finn Harps news, and Patrick McGarvey has signed his first pro deal with the club. Patrick, who had come through the youth system at Finn Harps, will be part of the first team squad next season. So, I'm sure he'll learn a thing or two under Ollie. So good stuff there. Moving south to Cove, and Cove Ramblers are delighted to announce that Darrell Walsh has become the first player to re-sign ahead of the 2021 season. The Waterford man became a key player in his debut season at St Coleman's Park. Darrell had this to say: "I'm delighted to be back on board. It was tough to finish up last year by just missing out in the playoffs, but we'll use that to push us harder now in 2021. We're all eager to build on what we did last season and just can't wait for the games to come around." So good news there in Cove Ramblers, having lost Dave Hurley. Now finally, the PFA Ireland First Division Manager of the Year nominees are as follows: Gareth Cronin, Bray Wanderers; Dara Doyle, Longford Town; and Tim Clancy at Drogheda United. An interesting one, this. I'd probably just about give it to Tim Clancy. Could have got promotion with Drogheda. But for me, Gareth Cronin would run him close, because a lot of people felt that Bray would struggle this year. Or at least they just missed out in the playoffs last season, remember. So the turnaround was huge from Gareth Cronin, and Dara Doyle done a great job getting Longford into the Premier Division. Now, the PFA Ireland Premier Division Manager of the Year is between Stephen Bradley, Keith Long and Ollie Horgan. Ollie Horgan done a great job and finished the season very strongly and getting Finn Harps out of the relegation mire. Keith Long continues to do a good job at Bohemians and managed to finish second in the league ahead of Dundalk. Not even Bowls fans would have said that at the start of the season. And Bradley, of course, won the league for Shamrock Rovers for the first time since 2011, and obviously done a great job in finishing unbeaten. So an interesting one there. Bradley will probably get it, to be fair though. So guys, that's about it from me and the League of Ireland news roundup. So let me know in the comments what you think of the news in general. Like the video if you like the content, subscribe if you're new, and hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. I'll see you again, guys. We're going to have the preview of Dundalk Shamrock Rovers out on Tuesday. Rate your transfer rumour will be out, and more bits and pieces coming up as usual. So have a good day, guys, and I'll see you later. Good luck.